any rag picker you see, any person who's into recycling, the lower category of people are the people who are earning money from this. It's a good source of income. Waste is freely available everywhere, fortunately, in any city worldwide, not only in India. So if we get them into the system, Pune already, where I stay in Maharashtra in India, already has the system in place where around 4,000 below poverty line women are given this task of collecting and segregating. They are paid by the people and they earn money by selling this dry waste also. So from being just a housewife in some slum and, not doing anything and depending on a husband, now these women have become independent now. And they are earning good amount of money. They can educate their children. They are buying insurance policies. The government is in a way supporting with them with medical policies, group insurance. So it's a good system which has got set up.
Vasant Mysore Matri, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Excellent presentation and you doing a great job. Environment, it is really wonderful. I was a member of NARM Committee on Solid Waste Management in Mysore, and I have a few recommendations. You have covered most of the things, no doubt about it. But the best practices that can be done, I have recommended. I hope you will adjust. See, first thing is, wet waste is converted into manure in most. So what they are doing is, they are selling it. And what I suggested is, this may be made to take a few packets of these things. When they go for street collection, they can take these packets and distribute it to the households.
Yes.
At a cost. That can be an economical good thing. Second thing is plastic waste. Plastic waste, here we will have to inculcate the good habits for students. And my suggestion is, every day, every student must bring 10 pieces of plastic and give it to the school. And in turn, they can take it and give it to the concerned authorities, who in turn can convert it into a road-making plastic coated bitumen. And the next thing is, hand over the plastic to corporation. After that, they will convert it into roads. This is done in road in Bangalore, and it lasted for quite a long time. Khan and Khan company, they had converted it. This can be easily made. The waste, that plastic that has been recovered from market after raids and all, they are under different kinds of what you call court cases. Now the next thing is toxic cigarette filters. Billions of them are lying around, and people, particularly smokers. And since I am an anti-tobacco campaigner, I am worried about the billions of cigarette bits that has cellulose acetate, that is non-biodegradable. And it is actually polluting the groundwater and in seas and all. And seawater is being millions of cigarette packet, BDs and other things. They flow with the drain water and join the water bodies. And they are actually choking the water levels. These are some of the things which I think you can concentrate and take it as a recommendation to all others. Another thing that my request to audience is, be the change you want to see. The concept under which I worked was, why your dirt in front of my house? Kannadalli we say, Ninna holasu nanna mane munde eke. So that kind of a thing. What we want is my suru, my suru means chat. When that shows, that chat must be very clean. When you want your house to be clean, why do you want your street to be dirty? Stop throwing everything, stop spitting, start dirtying, start throwing things that help what is concerned to do service to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You are doing great jobs with covering most of the good things, community based and good. Keep it up, please.
Thank you for your initiative also.
Thank you.
Shiradanaji.
Yes. So we have a particular problem in Bangalore where in the households we segregate waste. But what is happening is the auto tipper people who collect the waste, they do not want this waste to be segregated. And what we found out is why they're doing this is because the waste that comes along, wet waste and dry waste that they're getting, the plastic, high valuable plastic that they're getting, they are generating some revenue out of it. And as soon as we are segregating these two waste, mostly we give the dry waste to some other kabadiwala and get some revenue, right? So this is a revenue loss to the person who is coming and collecting the wet waste. So at ground level, we have different challenges where this whatever we are talking about is very difficult to implement. So any thoughts on this mindset of these people?
No, that is why I was suggesting the system has to change. The municipal corporation, this collection, what they are doing is the elephant in the room actually. They have to step out of the system, let people come into the system. You yourself are an entrepreneur on plastic waste recycling. If you are given the opportunity to collect waste from 1,000 houses every day, it's an amazing business you can set up. You can force people to segregate. You can pay people for the waste that you are collecting from them. People will be happy to earn money from you. It is a wonderful model which can be implemented, that dry waste, if given nicely, metal, glass, plastic, earns money for the person who's generating it and earns money for the person who's recycling it also. So that is why what I was suggesting in the slides is people have to come into the system. The government or the municipal corporation has to allow new entries into the system. This old system is not working. There are many complaints that we segregate and it goes back again into the van altogether. So what is the idea of segregating? But this is just going in round and round loops. It has to end somewhere, and the end is that let the government sit aside, let them appoint vendors and let these vendors start working now. That's the right solution to go about this managing the problem.
What happens when there is a monopoly? What happens?
No, there can never be monopoly. Like an example I gave that, today the government wants to construct a bridge. The amount of vendors who are ready to construct this bridge, right from a Hyundai, Bhel to the local construction, big type construction in Bangalore, let's say. Everybody goes in for that tender. So there's a tendering process. The corporation already has this system. Tendering, vendors, registered vendors, certified vendors, and it brings in competition. When it brings in competition brings in efficiency. So it is not, I'm saying that wet waste, give it to only one person. Let there be 10 registered vendors from the municipal corporation. Let the person who's generating this waste decide that I would like to go with this vendor because he offered me good rates. And over a period of time, definitely this problem what you have, that somebody may get into a monopoly situation. Over a period of time, it changes. The right people come in, good, efficient people start working nicely, and the customer or the people accept the system.
Mr. Shmail, would you like to ask your question? Please come online.
Okay, thank you very much. A very interesting presentation. And I want to ask you next and very actual, according to my opinion, question. How, according to your opinion, the solution problems of waste can support resolution problems of poverty and improvement social and economic well-being of poor and low socioeconomic groups of population?
They are the people who are helping us anyways today. Any rag picker you see, any person who's into recycling, the lower category of people are the people who are earning money from this. It's a good source of income. Waste is freely available everywhere, fortunately, in any city worldwide, not only in India. So if we get them into the system, Pune already, where I stay in Maharashtra in India, already has the system in place where around 4,000 below poverty line women are given this task of collecting and segregating. They are paid by the people and they earn money by selling this dry waste also. So from being just a housewife in some slum and not doing anything and depending on a husband, now these women have become independent now and they are earning good amount of money. They can educate their children. They are buying insurance policies. The government is in a way supporting with them with medical policies. group insurance. So it's a good system which has got set up. It may not eradicate poverty, or it may not, change the whole way of how poor people live. But it's an opportunity for a good segment of the citizens to come in and do something good.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Manav Shah, will you please unmute yourself and ask your
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, sir. Recently, 2 months ago, I and my friend also thought, we started some kind of an NGO, kind of a community to have some activities. One of the thing was cleanliness drive. We used to collect the, waste. Now, the thing is, we also discuss about doing awareness campaigns. And I had different thought on this was that there is no point of awareness. So whatever I'm saying after that, I want to view on that. So my thought was that there is no point of awareness. People generally know what is good, what is bad. People
Exactly.
generally sleep and sit in a place which is clean. So they understand what cleanliness is. And they know where they should throw the waste. And still they do that intentionally, consciously. So there was no point of awareness. That was my perspective. What are your views on the awareness segment in whole this ecosystem of waste management?
See, time of awareness, personally, I also feel is gone. Every school children, like my children, 10 years, 13 years, because their father works in waste, so they are aware. But every school children who is in 6th or 7th standard now knows waste is a problem. So it is no use, telling people, please segregate your waste. They already know it. And they have heard this concept 10 years back. And some people agree to it, and some people still, do not agree to this whole concept of segregation or waste management. What you can do individually is set up an example. So people like examples and people like positive examples. So if, let's say, you start a community where you all are collecting waste, recycling waste, showing money to people that this is how we earn. Maybe not a profit, maybe a break even. But people follow examples. The time is for us who are in the system, who want to change the system, is to start showing people that it works. Majority of societies where I go in with a proposal, that let us recycle your wet waste, everybody is scared that smell will come and, things are going to go bad. And they are right in a way, because the negative examples are much higher than the positive examples today. There are no positive examples anywhere you can see. People are used to the smell of wet waste and they fear this wet waste. But societies I am doing now, I have managed to remove this fear of this wet waste, that nothing will happen, you will not die. No flies are going to come to your house, and this methane gas and leachate underground and all these concepts that people have vanished, because I have shown them that it works. And it doesn't work 1 year, it has been working for 15 years. So when people like you come into the system, start something which you can show a live example, that come, see, experience, study us. We are earning money. We are employing people. See the amount of waste that I'm collecting. No smell, no issue, no problem. So when people see a positive impact or a positive change, they will start following you and agreeing to you.
Right, sir.
So
Because
they to do something like this.
Because the last point I want to say is, even if there is no time to now aware the literate people, even there is no time to aware the illiterate people, because even they understand it's a basic human understanding that cleanliness should be there, and then still they do it. So I think I agree to a point that we can show them instead of just telling them that don't.
It's a time of showing now.
We can show them that what can be done at that desk. Yes, sir, absolutely. It's in the same.
I have some thoughts on this. Firdosh ji had said something beautiful. He said we need pan-India platform where each of us can collaborate. Whether it is on a city level, whether it is on an individual level, we can share our practices which can be emulated by other people. So Wishwa has come out with this. We have declared Hyderabad will be zero waste by 2027, Swachh Hyderabad. And then we've started an Instagram platform, and we've been requesting people to share their practices. So we had a lady called Meena. She shared a small video on how she was cutting her milk packets, and we had more than 1 lakh of viewers on it. Now, today, while I was cutting a packet for something else, I would have cut the whole thing. Now, remembering what she did, I only cut a part of it. One thing out of the 10 packets I cut, 1 packet I cut more, so I removed it and put it back in that. So yes, everybody knows waste is an issue, but all of us are not practicing it 360 degrees in our lives. Simple today. Now, though I'm working myself in zero waste, I can see so many areas where I'm creating waste. I was putting a bottu in the morning, and I said, I'm not going to put a sticker. I'm going to put kumkum. There will be times when I'm traveling. Probably I'll take a sticker, but that consciousness is there now. The other day I'd gone to a function, and yes, everybody started using disposable plates, disposable cups, mitti ka pots, but we're still using plastic water bottles. There is no alternative for it as of now. So we as a country, our entrepreneurs, our startups should come for alternatives for small bottles, for functions. Then, okay, we cannot do. But as people who are paying the caterers, we can demand that there should be 2 dustbins, one for plastics and one for the wet waste.
Absolute idea.
So yes, we have awareness, but this awareness is not sufficient. As Firdosh said, we all have to come on one platform.
Yes.
And that platform, Wishwa is trying to build in that platform. Please do, each of you who are passionate and who knows who are passionate, please do share your video bites. We will share it with everybody else in the country. Azra Tabassum, please unmute yourself.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. and Ms.
Yes.
We have moved in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I am from Baroda. We have come here to dive and explore and also videograph and show it to the world and all that. But keeping that aside, waste over here is getting out of hand. Wherever we see, there is a lot of waste piled up near houses, roads,
beaches,
drains, beaches, a lot of it, and even the streams kind of. And we have taken it in our hands. Yes, we did some cleaning by ourselves, but we have an issue with the contact. We have no idea where to go to get it segregated or where to go and start with the next.
See, your first, where you need to start is not the person who's generating it, the person who's managing it. So like the advice here would be that do not fight with people who are generating waste. It just creates a negative environment. There will be a municipal council, or there might be a cantonment, or there might be some government body who is managing the area that you are staying. Plus, there will
Basically, they come here, they do take the trash from the houses, then they say plastic and paper together and the wet waste set. So all that is there. It's still, the things are in place, but we still see such a lot of orphan trash, as you mentioned, and we just don't know what to do.
You have to develop a system. Working alone will not help you. The system involves you, the system involves the government bodies, and the system may involve some private player who's ready to take up this challenge. Without this, the solution will not come so fast to you, unfortunately, because the mindset of people has got fixed that waste, we will throw it here, that's it. And it is not our responsibility. And again, like I had given in my presentation, you have to derive from where this waste is coming. So who is the bigger culprit, who is the smaller culprits? So let's say tourism is a big culprit in Andaman Nicobar. So there are hotels, these fancy hotels, big hotels, small hotels. So you have to break up this whole system into parts, who is doing what, and then start tackling one small topic at a time. That is where you may be able to, see some changes into the system. You may be able to grow your tribe. Today, 2 of y'all are there. Tomorrow, 20 of y'all might be there who are talking the same thing. So when more of it, a government has to start giving you a ear.
Over here to everybody who is in the audience, if anybody is from the Union Territory who's listening, who is already into such things, please do raise your hand and let us know so we can contact you, we can get help from you. Any of us can be together.
Azra, I can connect you to a lady called Rajshri. She heads GWC. Maybe you all can tie up and she can guide you, because she's already doing it in certain villages in Hyderabad very successfully. Now she's taken it on in Kunu. Ma'am, can you unmute yourself?
Great platform, Wishwa, Shrivani and Srishant. And Firdosh, of course, you're in the field with us for so many years. So I'll take the CSR initiatives of a software company which is based in Pune. And I came to Pune 25 years ago when my husband retired from a job outside India. And since then, there's not been a single day where I put my wet waste to go to the municipal system. So we've been composting our kitchen waste from our house and my cook's house also. It's a family of 4 people. So family of 6 people, their wet waste has been going into the composting pit. and not being given to the municipal collection system, which I'm proud of. And then 5-6 years ago, we started going to working with PMCs, Swachh waste pickers, and Basti residents to see whether we can have a community composting pit in the slums of Pune. And it needs a lot of coordination because everybody has their role to play in it. Of course, the residents have to segregate the wet and dry garbage. They have to give only wet garbage to the waste pickers to bring to the pit, which are designed by Firdosh, which the PMC gives us land for, which in some cases the PMC, the Municipal Corporation, has built it themselves. So typically there are at least 7 or 8 pits, which are quite large. And in some cases, the corporators or Rotary have put in their money, which is 7 or 8 lakhs per group of, 8 pits, which Firdosh designs based on how many households will, bring their wet waste into it. And then Firdosh also comes to monitor that the process is going smoothly because it's a very delicate process. The wet waste is coming from about 500 households for each pit, Basti households. And there are always little bits of paper or glass or whatever in it. And the last segregation has to be done by a caretaker who we pay every month. Because if this one person is not there to make sure that only wet waste goes into the pit, the whole process will get derailed. So it's a lot of coordination effort between these 3 or 4 major stakeholders. But it's successful, it's happening, and there is good quality compost that comes out of it, fertilizer, which can be used as a fertilizer in PMC gardens or by the farmers or by households. So it's a very successful project, and I would be very happy if there are any other NGOs or CSRs who want to see our model and want to do something similar. And that's all I want to say. And great work. I would like to be a part of this platform. Yes, and lastly, it's okay to go to individuals. Of course, you must do all that, individual households, societies, school children. But the biggest polluters are the big industries. Wishwa, are you thinking of going and talking to them? We hear of so much of sewage that is, emptied into the rivers. So much industrial effluent that goes into the rivers and pollutes the water, from which many people are, drawing their own water into their own house for kitchen and all that. It's very important to work at that level also. It's not enough to work only at a very small individual level. We have to think of advocating with the government. And to mention the National Green Tribunal, I've heard that it is very ineffective because of political pressures.
Yes.
So, something has to be done at that level, I think, to see any change there.
It's both. It's a top to down and bottom to up approach.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, the top down approach is more effective in our society or system or whatever. So we have to get the top involved also in it.
Not necessarily. Firdosh is making a difference. You are making a difference. We need leaders. We need leaders who are committed. We need leaders who are willing to see it till the end. Maybe our capacity is only this much, but this much, let us do it perfectly.
Yes.
Each of these who are passionate and who are here in this talk, we can do what our circle of influence. If we can make a difference, this will become a movement.
But I think we have to go beyond that to make any difference. Just staying there is not going to make much difference.
No. As I told you, Wishwa started with 14 people. Today we are 200. So it will go. I'm very
thank you to both of you. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question, Ms. Parvati Chadda, please.
Namaskar to everyone. I want to share a success story. I reside in Pune just the way Mr. Firdosh does, and I have managed to convince government entities to participate in waste management from my Prakalp, which is manufacturing of biopolymer. I am setting up a factory which is an alternate to chemical plastic. It is a very successful venture. I have a mantra of problems none, solutions galore. And that is what led me to convince the General Post Office General Master as well as the IGR of Registration and Stamps and Duty. I showed them how waste which they generate on their own can find a way, and they are so happy in participating in cash for trash. It worked. We set a goal for ourselves, and I have calculations that this Diwali the staff can earn themselves 50 gram worth silver coin.
Oh wow.
It has now become their religion. You don't see anything in these two offices flying around. It's a very positive reaction because I also picked up a dry waste person from my area. I reside in Udaybag in Pune. while it may have a reputation of being a Tony area, but the people also have Tony attitudes when it comes to why they believe their trash is your issue, not theirs. So taming of the shrew takes place from time to time, but I don't waste my energies fighting with people as to why they're doing what. I have blacklisted a particular residential area amongst their bag because they are the perpetuators of how you can do everything wrong. Let them do what they want to. The others are now earning money, and you can see that some of the perpetuators are now approaching us and saying, okay, fine, we'll follow if you can just guide us, because they realize that whatever they're throwing, there is money to it. So if this be the mantra for money, I'm very successful, and if anybody would like to, reach across, I'll be so happy to share, because we're offering carbon credits, net neutrality, something which people are not aware of and they don't know how to cash in on it. So when the Department of Post, we are doing their audit for them, and this is all complimentary. This is all gratis. We are not charging for it because it's such a revenue earning model in any case. I'd like to revert back to you all within the next 2 months when my project is ready, and people from Pune must come and visit these offices, because we're not only helping them with dry and wet waste management, we are greenifying their areas and we are reducing their AQI. We have set target of 45 AQI for this particular road on which both these offices are situated, and I would invite anyone in Pune in the next 2 months to please come and spend time there so that they can understand that give me a problem and I will come out with a solution. I'm willing to go the mile.
Wishwa will reach out to you, ma'am. We're working in Hyderabad. We definitely need your advice.
Thank you so much.